What's up, everybody? Welcome to another session of Fourth and One. It's your boy Moy with that man Nick, Slick Nick, Ray, and Robbie. Let's get it going. We got a
Go.
lot to cover today.
What's going on, fellas? How's it going? How was your first football Sunday? Did everyone enjoy?
I
Right,
did.
man.
I
Yeah,
did.
yeah. How about you boys too? Yeah. We had a
Uh,
little.
It
We,
was nice to be.
all
It was
three of
nice
us,
to have him back.
all three of us minus Ray had a little tough outing. It's okay. We'll bounce back. Week two's
even
coming
even
strong.
It's
even
that meme.
fantasy
It's that
football
meme
wise.
of the girl dancing, but like crying at the same time, but she's trying to enjoy it. But she's
A
that's
little
how
bit
I
of both,
felt.
huh?
That's how I felt watching football.
Awesome. Well, everyone's talking about right now. There's no other game that anyone's talking about except the Broncos right now. Broncos are all over the news. Was that a meltdown? What happened last night? Did they melt down in the very last second? Was it Nathaniel Hackett? Was it Russ that couldn't get the job done? Was it the right call on 4th and 1? Let's start it off with you, Ray. What do you think?
I think it was a little bit of everything. I mean, how many they fumbled at the goal line? They couldn't convert. So I put the blame not just on Russ or not on the coach. I put it on the entire football team because they should have been up. They should have scored, but they didn't make it. So
Yeah, I'm with you. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I think it's. I think this is something we've seen, and I think we'll continue to see it as we got rid of the fourth preseason game. There was this 17-day gap, and then on top of that, the Denver Broncos. I don't even think they played starters most of the preseason.
Russ didn't
So I
play.
think yeah, Russ, but a bunch of their defense, like I think a lot of their players, like so I think it's just they just looked undisciplined. They looked like they just weren't on the same page. So I think yeah, the play calling at the end was bad, but they just looked not put together the whole game. I mean, the fact that they had two goal line fumbles, um, Seahawks, I think they even had a fumble, and then it just happened to bounce right to the lineman who was running down. Like there was a lot of things that just were really fluky that uh, it's just it's just week one, and I think there's going to be some teams that just aren't together, and so I think they'll get it together, but it just takes some time. And I think it that win one meant more for Seattle than it did for the Denver Broncos.
You could tell on the emotions. What do you think, Moy?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a combination of things. But if we're looking at the last series, I would have to put more of the blame on the play calling. You don't pay that man that much money, and then I don't know if it was fourth and one. I thought it was like fourth and four.
Five.
4-5.
It was like fourth and four, fourth and five, and you're relying on a 64-yard field goal. Like, come on, man.
He's got the leg.
Nah. When they called the timeout, like when he kicked it before they called the timeout, he missed it wide right. Like he shanked it. I would have been like, get off. Right there, I would have made the decision. Hey, let's get Russ back in here, see if he gets, But yeah, that last series, I think it was more on the play calling and the clock management. They just let the clock go down, and they had what, three timeouts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta control that. You got Russ, man. Like, come on, he's not some scrub QB. You know.
Yeah, I got you. You pay the man 240 million, and you're gonna rely on a 64-yard field goal to beat nothing against the Seattle Seahawks, but not a not so very talented Seahawks right team right now.
well, I think I might have said it in the group chat or whatever, but it's like having a team in the NFC West. I've seen Russ in those situations so many times, and he leads them to victory. Like the fact that they
A
didn't.
miracle.
Yeah, it's just like I
Yeah.
mean I hate him. He honored my. I mean I respect him, but I hated him because he would just come back with those miracles like that. And it's just the fact that they didn't do it. But it's week one, man. I mean they just chalk it up to that. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they'll learn from it. I think it's just like you said, it's just week one, and it's just like if he went for it on 4th and 5, I feel like everybody's just gonna sit here and they didn't convert. Everyone's gonna sit here and be like, "Why wouldn't you kick it? You're on 4th and 5. That's 5 yards. It's so far." And then now that they didn't kick it, they're just now that they did kick it and missed. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should have gone for it." It's just so easy to state that fact after. I think the Broncos will do just fine, but I mean, we'll see as the season goes on. We got a lot to cover here, so we're gonna skip on to the next one. Is there trouble brewing in Dallas? Dak Prescott is out reportedly 6 to 8 They're not going to put the IR tag on him. They are going to. Jerry Jones says he's hoping to have Dak back in 4 weeks. What do you think, Nick? What do you think Dallas should go for these next 4 weeks? You think they should go to free agency? Think a trade for Jimmy G? Trey
You brought
Lance?
that up, not me. Just for the record, we'll
Oh
strike
yeah, yeah.
that.
Just baiting you in. Just
I
baiting
know
you in.
every time. I think I think this is good, just in general, for Cowboys fans to now not have to have the hype and just like realize, like, you know what? Yeah, we lost all of these weapons, all of these defensive players. I think a lineman, like, and then it's like everyone's like, no, 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 we're still good. They weren't good with that. So,
Yeah.
without Dak, again, I mean, we could chalk it up to week one, but I mean, it was pretty bad. I think I saw they were the only team to not score a touchdown. So, yeah, I don't, Jerry Jones is like kind of crazy. So I mean, the dude literally had surgery, and I think he had a bolt or a plate or something put in his hand. Like, I don't know. So to turn around and say 4 weeks when literally everyone else is like, no, it's 6 to 8 weeks. It's like, okay, I guess you can make him come back, and maybe it'll just be even worse then if that's the case. But I think they ride it out with Rush. I don't know. It really depends on McCarthy though, because if he loses this year, he's done. Like they want to. So I could see them just letting him ride it out, and it gives Jerry Jones an easy way to bring in Sean Payton.
Sean Payton coming back soon. What do you think, Greg? Trouble in Dallas? Where are you thinking to go?
Man, I think that dude, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones got to pick up the phone right now. He really, we really seriously are going to sit here and believe that Cooper freaking Rush is going to come out here and win some games for the Cowboys? Get the hell out of here if you think that's true. All the Dallas Cowboy fans need to call Jerry Jones right now and say, hey, we need Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G is the most similar. I get it. They're a little, obviously they're different between Dak and Jimmy G, but Jimmy G can make all those throws that Dak can. I get it that Jimmy G makes some questionable throws here and there, but he can make those throws, man. I trust way more in Jimmy G than I do in Cooper Rush any day. And also, there's another guy I want to put out there too that they should go after because of the left tackle is out, and that left tackle who played, I didn't think he played. That offensive lineman, they lost the offensive lineman in the game as well. So I think a guy that they should target is the Ravens' backup quarterback, Tyler Huntley. I think Huntley's a really good quarterback, man. And I think he can really help since that if that line breaks down, he's able to move. He's able to get out of the pocket, and that would really help him a lot. I know Jimmy G and Dak can't really do that, but that's somebody who can really help out, especially with their offensive line having some woes there.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a troubling what's going on there. What do you think, Moy? I mean, they can't go with Cooper Rush. What if Cooper Rush leads them to 0-5 start?
Yeah, no, I agree. They gotta get. I mean, they might have to go after Jimmy G, or there's a guy that I know that didn't sign a contract that might not.
Are you saying Lamar to the Cowboys?
I'm just kidding.
Come on, man.
Nah. Yeah, maybe Jimmy G.
But realistically, I don't mean to, but realistically, he broke his something in his hand, right? And so Jerry Jones, he's out for 4 weeks.
He's hoping.
But even if you break it, you still got to do physical therapy on your hand. It's not like he's just going to be able to grip that ball in like 2 seconds.
Back in 4 weeks.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
I can see it in like 8 weeks, but if they want to salvage the season, they need a quarterback.
It's probably more posturing than anything. It's like leverage, like just like the Niners when they say like we're not giving anything more than a 2 or blah blah blah, like, or we love to have Jimmy, like it's just leverage. So he's saying like, yeah, I'll have him back in 4 weeks. We're not that big of a concern. So we'll see.
I'm gonna kill that Jimmy G trade talk right now. Jimmy G's trade, it's just not gonna happen. I think we've all been waiting for Jimmy. You think they're gonna go trade a 2nd or 3rd round to get Jimmy G for 4 to 5 weeks? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Second, Jimmy G has a no trade clause on his contract. Third, Trey Lance didn't look that great. I know it was rainy, but he didn't look that great. I'm sure Kyle Shanahan, they had to have a meeting with the boys. They said, no matter what goes on, Trey Lance is our guy, and we got to keep it that way. But I think they want to keep Jimmy G on their roster, man. You just never know how the season's going to unfold. And they obviously kept and re-signed Jimmy G for a reason, and they didn't just cut him and let him go. So that Jimmy G thing's not going to happen. But going back to Dallas, they got to do something because they can't ride out with Cooper Rush. I think they had Ben DiNucci, Cooper Rush. I think they're both on their practice squad. They're looking at Kellen Mond, the Vikings quarterback that they cut. Is Sam Darnold even healthy? I don't know. I don't even know where they go, but they cannot go out with, unless Kellen Moore wants to play calls and come back and throw the ball. I don't know. But yeah, Dallas definitely has to go do something. But going back to the Niners, here we go, Nick. What happened to the Niners in Chicago?
Same thing as I just talked about with the freaking Broncos, and the same thing I think we saw with the Packers. I think there's this undiscipline. They came out and showed some good flashes. The defense shut down Fields like completely the first almost 3 quarters. Offense, I know you said you didn't think Trey Lance did pretty good. I went back and watched it. Like, he made some pretty good throws. He was good on his feet. He actually had more rushing yards than Fields. He got some first downs. He had some beautiful throws. He did have some other inaccuracy. He overthrew an easy walk-in TD. But then again, Debo fumbled, so in the red zone. And then really, though, it was penalties. There was 3 drives in a row that the defense stopped them on 3rd down and committed a 15-yard first down penalty. They literally, like, at one point, the guy was wrapped up by like 3 defenders short of the line to gain, and another linebacker came in and face masked him. Like, what are you doing? So sometimes they just get a little overly aggressive. And then Fields is also, he's one of the like guys that has like the best slide where he can drop instantly. So like, he got us with that one where the linebacker just panics and dives, doesn't hit him, it goes right over him, but it looks bad. And so 15-yard penalty, like unnecessary roughness. So I think they had 12 penalties for over 100 yards. Yikes. Fields, he actually had a worse rating, I think, than Trey Lance. But what he did was he was able to scramble around, and he got our defense to break 2 different coverages and left guys wide open for TDs. So he was able to make an impact. To me, Trey Lance played really good if you think of the system and what Kyle Shanahan wants. Justin Fields did really good doing what he could do to win that game, which, like, they have a bad supporting cast around him, but he did what he could, which was scramble around and figure out something to happen. Like, he did off-script stuff, and it worked out. But I'm not concerned. We saw a lot of really good flashes with the offense and defense. There was just some fluky stuff that hopefully they clean up and we don't see anymore.
What do you think, Moy? Is there trouble in the Niners?
I'm hoping not, because I got Debo, so I'm hoping
Debo didn't score your 3 touchdowns.
That fumble didn't. Yeah, man, that fumble didn't help either. I'm hoping that a lot of it had to do with the weather conditions and all that. So that's what I'm hoping. So, I would say there's no trouble now. I hope there's no trouble. I hope Lance picks it up and starts hitting my boy for some TDs, man.
What do you think, Ray?
I don't think there's any trouble brewing in for the Niners at all, for the Niners organization. I think that, they played in a gosh damn monsoon, man. I mean, that whole freaking stadium was literally filled. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw the videos. This guy bought a freaking thing, a box or a tub of popcorn.
Yeah,
I mean, it was literally filled with water. I mean, they were in a goddamn hurricane, man. So, like, and you just see the ripples. Nick sent us the video of the freaking ripples of the field. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? So, dude, I think I would, if I'm a Niners fan, I would feel if Trey Lance put this performance in daylight, weather's great, and he threw like that, like, had ups and downs, I would be concerned for sure. But he played in a monsoon, so I can't really give him, I can't be too hard on him because that's really tough. That ball's wet. It's probably weighs like 25 freaking pounds. It's tough to play in that environment for sure. So, I think they scratched that tape, and I think week 2 we'll see a different Niners team week 2.
Different Niners team. Yeah, I think also missing George Kittle was a huge impact. When you have Debo and Kittle on the field together at the same time, it's always going to help. But at the same time, Trey Lance did throw some good balls, but he did throw some very bad balls too. It wasn't a monsoon. We're going to have to wait till week 2 to really find out what's going on. We're going to have to wait to see what Trey Lance is for another week. But hopefully next week against the Seattle Seahawks, we can find out. By the way, Seattle Seahawks is a plus 10 underdog. It's a very good line, I would say.
Let me just add ironic thing. It's potentially supposed to rain again on Sunday in Santa Clara.
Wow.
That's crazy. But you know what?
Does that concern you? Does that scare you at all?
No, there's nothing you can do about it, I guess. Like, I hate hearing the criticism and the back and forth. Like, I wish Trey could go out and ball, because if it always comes to if they win, the QB's awesome, and if they lose, the QB sucks, kind of thing. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. It just, what have you done to me lately type of league. It's I guess we'll see one more week. But you know what? These quarterbacks get paid millions of dollars to go out there and perform. Rain, shine, snow. We've seen plenty of snow games, and even a couple sprinkles here and there. We're gonna have to see it, how it's gonna go down. I just felt the building shake again, by the way. So I still feel some after effects from the earthquake. But anyways, we'll go ahead and keep moving on until my roof caves in. Moy, let's start it off with you. What team surprised you the most from week 1?
Ooh. I'm not. I was gonna say the Dolphins, but I knew, right, because I called that. That's gonna be that team. I think the Panthers. I think. The Panthers. I personally didn't expect. Well, I didn't expect Baker Mayfield to really do much, and he connected with Anderson, for like over 100 yards, a touchdown and whatnot. And then they did a good job. I mean, it was the Browns, but
they lost, right?
Well, they lost.
Oh wait, they ended up losing?
Yeah, they ended up losing
in a field goal, I believe. They lost to a late field goal.
Oh dang!
Field goal. They had a good.
It was competitive though.
Yeah, it was competitive.
Okay, then I take that back. Dang! Then I confused them because I was watching it and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna win."
They were winning early on.
I guess they came back then. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't really pay attention to many of them then. Dang! So what team surprised me? I guess not them. I guess I'll go with my Dolphins.
Your Dolphins? Dolphins surprise you?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Especially how much they won by. So yeah.
Yeah, I got you. It was close. They only scored, I think, 20 to 7. I think was the final score. I mean, our defense did good. If it was our defense did pretty good. It was just Mac, the sack, fumble, and touchdown. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. What do you think, Ray? Which team surprised you the most?
The team that surprised me the most was the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
They definitely shocked the hell out of me. I did not think. Well, I know that they're a really good offensive team, but that defense is what I was worried about. And I was like, man, but the way they Rodgers did not look good. He looked really, really bad. And I don't know if but he looked really bad last year too. I think last year, week 1, he didn't really look good.
Yeah.
So I can't really, but I'm just because of the way that they won, the way that Justin Jefferson looked, I got to go with that team for sure. They surprised me big time.
I'm not writing Rodgers off, but the difference between last year and everyone's like, oh yeah, but he did that last year. Yeah, but last year he had Devontae Adams. Let's not forget that he lost the best receiver in the league. And you saw Christian Watson drop that 75-yard bomb. So, I mean, Rodgers going to have some up and downs this year. So, what do you think, Nick? Which team surprised you the most in week 1? Week numero uno.
Well, ironically, Devontae Adams also lost on his team. But I'm actually, I guess, I don't know, surprised, but I am a little bit surprised at Steelers. How competitive they were, and I don't know how much you just chalk it up to week 1, but I think 4 interceptions, just 7 sacks, even just having Mitch
Six, seven.
Trubisky. Like I just think like yeah, it was cool. It was just it's good to see that hopefully they're competitive. I mean, I guess you should never doubt Mike Tomlin. Is the thing, but yeah, it was good to see them come out and actually show it. Because I think a lot of people are writing them off and say like, oh, Pickett's going to be in by week 2 or 3 or whatever, and they're gonna tank or whatever it was. So it was good to see them competitive.
Got you. Which team surprised me the most? Man, there were some good teams, and you guys said some really good ones. Um, you can't go wrong with picking the Steelers. The Steelers did absolutely amazing. I mean, they got to Burrow a bunch of times. I think what like 6, 7 times, something crazy. They picked them off 4 times. They had some crazy stats, and then you got the Vikings, who I've been calling it since the offseason. I think they're going to be the division winners this year, and I'm still sticking by that, especially after week 1. The Giants kind of surprised me a little bit. Danny Dimes connecting like almost 81% of his throws. Saquon looking out, coming like a straight dog.
He had over
They came in,
150 rushing yards.
yeah, something crazy like that on my fantasy team. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Giants. Almost 80% first year head coach going into Tennessee with the king back, and they did that to the king and the Tennessee Titans, who was in the playoffs last year. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I think the Giants look really good this year, and I know we're just gonna write Danny Dimes and the Giants off, but I think we should just keep focus on them a little bit. I think not saying they're going to be really good, but I'm not saying they're going to be bad either. I think they're going to be a pretty decent team this year. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go with you, Ray. This is our last one before we go to rapid fire. You ready?
Let's do it.
After an amazing week 1 with tons of ups and downs, give us your top 5 power ranking. Who do you got?
Ooh, top 5. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna start from 5 down. So at number 5, man, I gotta put the Baltimore Ravens at number 5. I think, look, I get it. We versed the Jets. I get it. The Jets are not that good, but hey, the offense stalled. Looked pretty good at the end. Looked like Lamar was getting back in. He hadn't played football in like 9 months. So for him to get his feet wet, he made some pretty good dimes. And then that defense was stout. So I'm going to put them at 5. At number 4, I'm going to put Tampa Bay. Why I'm going to put them at 4 is because, I mean, you can't knock off Tom Brady. I mean, I get it. The offensive line has a little bit of woes, but I'm definitely going to stick with Tom. And at number 3, I got to put my MVP for the season, Justin Herbert and his LA Chargers. Man, I definitely got to. They performed really, really well against the Raiders. That was a really good game, and just to see him make those throws so effortlessly was pretty solid. And then number 2, I got the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdowns. I thought the Cardinals were going to do something. I really thought they were going to make a statement, but they didn't. They didn't seem to show up. And Patrick Mahomes throwing 5 TDs. He definitely made a statement for sure. And then my number 1 team is the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're complete on everything, man. Special teams, defense, offense, they got it all. So that's my top 5.
There we go. What do you think, boy? Who do you got top 5?
So at 5, I have Tampa. At 4, I have Steelers.
Steelers. Love it.
Steelers.
Let's go.
Steelers. Then I got Vikings at 3, Chiefs at 2, and Bills at 1. That
No
is
love
my
for the
list.
Bucks or the team that beat the Raiders, the Chargers. No love for them.
Nah, I think it was more of the Raiders doing too. That last drive, some of the play calling was iffy. I didn't agree with it. So
Before I move it to Nick, real quick, do you think T.J. Watt getting hurt on the Steelers affects your number 4?
dang.
Sounds like he'll be back. Sounds like he'll be back in the season. We just don't know when.
I would have to see. I mean, because that defense is still good, you know. So we'll see.
Wait and see.
Yeah, I'll see.
That.
Wait and see. Because that was again. I mean, they played well against the Bengals. So
yeah,
and
Bengals
everybody
won the
was
Super Bowl.
expecting Burrow to come out and he came out through a pick 6. So
Man, but you're gonna put him number 4? What?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's
That's
good.
crazy, man. I can over the. You have the Chargers in there?
No.
What? You ain't gonna put the Chargers in there over
No.
Pittsburgh?
He's not
Man,
taking anyone in his division.
Yeah.
No, I got the Chiefs in there at
Oh yeah,
number
that's
2.
right.
Chiefs at number
It'd be
2.
crazy if you didn't have the Chiefs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you? Well, real quick before I turn it over to Nick, I love that you put the Pittsburgh in there, man. I feel like no one's giving them enough credit.
That's what I'm
You know,
saying, man.
they did pretty good on offense. They got the job done on offense. Their defense looked stout, and Mike
That
Tomlin
defense.
was
They've
dancing in the
always had
room
good
with the
defenses.
TikTok boys in the locker room, and they look like they're having a good team, man. I like that you put the Pittsburgh at number 4. That was something new. What do you think, Nick?
I got Vikings, Chargers, Bucks, Bills, then Chiefs. And I only put the
Ooh.
I
So-
only put the Chiefs above the Bills because the Chiefs have proved more than the Bills, and they're continuing to build on it even after losing Tyreek Hill. And we still, so that's my only given, and that's also why I put the Bucks above the Chargers. I know Tom Brady has done more technically than Josh Allen and the Raider and the Bills, but I think there's still a pretty large gap between the talent on each team. But yeah, that's what my thoughts with it.
Got you. Well, I mean, it's only week 1, so it's overreactions everywhere, you know. But these teams are always going to do good, no matter what. At number 5, it was so hard, Ray. I'm sorry, I had to knock your Ravens out of here. It was so hard. I couldn't. I still have it written down, Ravens or Vikings. I just couldn't decide. But I love the Minnesota Vikings so much. I have to give number 5 to the Minnesota Vikings. I think I get it. Week 1, Aaron Rodgers last year, whatever the case was, but they still went in and we lost more. And they still went in and they went in and they put the beating on Aaron Rodgers. And I think no matter what happens, I think the Vikings will stay up to that, and I think they'll still do really good. Number 4, I got the team that went and beat the Las Vegas Raiders. The number 4 in their division, Las Vegas Raiders. The Chargers. I think the Chargers are a real good team. I love that pick that you have for Justin Herbert for MVP. I really think it's very possible. I had Joe Burrow. He threw 4 interceptions, so I don't know how my MVP is going to go anymore. So we'll see how it goes. Number 3, I got the Bucks. The offense looked good, but the defense looked really good. So number 3, I got the Bucks. Number 2, such a toss up, man. Bills and Chiefs. Who you got? I'm gonna put the Bills at 2, and the only reason I'm putting the Chiefs above is because they look like they didn't lose a step from last year. Coin flip or not, they're still the team to beat in the AFC. No matter what happened to the Bengals, even though they were in the Super Bowl last year, I still think the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC. And until someone shows otherwise, you cannot move the Kansas City Chiefs from number 1 because they look like dogs back there. Cool. Well, you all set up, Moya? You're looking good over there.
Yeah, I had to move to my phone. My laptop was
You're good?
down. Yeah.
You're good. No worries.
I feel like everyone's still sleeping on the Bengals because they
Good
had
time.
I had a pretty crazy game. But I feel
Yeah.
like, dude, the stuff Jamar Chase was doing is
Insane.
I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't count them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're out. Like I'm giving Vikings probably more credit than they deserve, but it's all right.
It is what it is. I mean, we can always come back to this later on in the season. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
our
definitely.
list will be different later on in the season. Everybody's here will be different later on in the season. Well, let's speed it up a little bit. Who's ready for some rapid fire?
let's go.
Let's start it off. Let's go in order. Ray, let's go with you since you're the first one on my screen. Is Baker the answer for Carolina?
I'm going to say he is. I'm going to say Baker Mayfield is the answer for Carolina. I think he showed a lot of grit. I mean, that team needs a lot of help overall. But I think he can do it, man. I think that he can lead this team. Obviously, I get it. He was versus the Cleveland Browns, so I'm sure his ego and his was definitely elevated to the max. But I think Baker. I think he's going to be fine. I think they'll have a good season, and I wouldn't be shocked if they make the playoffs. I would not be shocked. So
I like that. What do you think, Moy? Is Baker the answer for Carolina?
I would like when you think of the phrase like the answer, like you think like that's gonna be their guy that's gonna lead them and lead them far. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I wouldn't say he's the answer. I think he's probably the best option they have right now. Um, I don't know if they would make playoffs even with him, because when he was in Cleveland, he was in like an elite QB or someone that you're like, oh, they gotta really practice for him. They gotta look out for him. He was all right. You know, so I think he's good to maybe keep him above 500. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about playoffs.
Okay. Okay. What do you think, Nick? Baker the answer in Carolina?
Yeah, kind of same. I could see him keeping them like relevant. I don't think he. I is this does he have how many years does he have left?
On
Is
his
this his
contract?
This is
yeah,
it. This is his
this
final
is
year,
it,
right?
Is
right?
it? Yeah.
So I could see them. I don't know. I could see him going somewhere else. I could see them trying to re-sign him. I don't think he's a long-term solution. I could see them trying to bring him back and then also like bringing in a rookie to develop, or just taking, depending on how they do, they just take someone outright and get rid of him and try to rebuild or whatever. But I don't think he's going to take him to the promised land. But it could be like a Kirk Cousins where keeps him relevant.
I've been a preacher that you don't need a top 15 quarterback or a top 10 quarterback to keep winning. Baker Mayfield is going to be the answer in Carolina. He's going to be there for 7 to 10 years.
What?
And
Wow.
Baker Mayfield is going to stay in Carolina as long as they get rid of Matt Rule. I'm not a Matt Rule fan. I think he needs to be gone. I think they need to change up some of their play calling. I mean, I understand Christian McCaffrey got a lot of injury issues. But how do you only rush the ball with 10 times with that guy? Deontay Foreman they brought in, they only rushed him twice. Chuba Hubbard only got one rush. So between the three of their backs, they only had 13 rushes in that entire game where Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb were running over the field all day long. I think Baker Mayfield can be the answer, but I think it depends on the GM if they're going to get rid of Matt Rule. And I think they need to move on and find somebody that's a more Baker friendly type of player. Baker got the swag, he got the attitude, he got the chip on his shoulder. I think Baker Mayfield can be the answer in Carolina. As far as when, I don't know. That's the hard part. Um, will the Patriots get back on track in week 2? What do you think, Nick?
Is Mac Jones healthy?
He has back spasms and he's likely to play.
Okay. And are they actually is Bourne in the doghouse still, or are they gonna let him play now, or what? Like, what's gonna?
Robert Kraft came out and said he that Kendrick Bourne needs to get involved in that offense. He's telling him he's pretty much
Holy
telling Billy
gacho.
D, you're putting Kendrick Bourne on the fucking field.
Um,
Yeah.
I I actually think that's pretty counterintuitive now because it's like I don't know. I think it's showing there's some issues going on
I believe it.
across the board. So
Yeah.
I think that who are they playing?
Pittsburgh.
No, I think they're gonna struggle up and down at least the first half of the season, before anything drastic happens. I could see them being under 500 for going into the second half of the season, and then kind of pulling it back together or something. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be week 2.
Kind of like last season. I think we started off really bad, like 2-4, and then we won like 7 straight. We're just not a September team. So what do you think, Moy? Will the Patriots get back on track in week 2 against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Absolutely not. I just had them in my top 5. There's no way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Number
Absolutely
4.
not.
Number
They're
4.
gonna struggle against that defense.
Yeah, that defense. Is definitely scary. What do you think, Ray? Against your division rivals, do you think we can take them down? Will the Patriots get back on track in week 2?
I would say, damn, that's a good one, man. It's tough because I think the Patriots can take that game. The only reason why I'm saying that is because T.J. Watt, man, dude, he was killing it. Yeah, I mean, I literally like him and Michael Parsons. Is it Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons, right?
Mika Fitzpatrick.
Micah Fitzpatrick.
Micah
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick.
you're
Carson from the no. I'm talking about him and
Cowboys?
T.J. Watt. Yeah, and the Cowboys lineman.
Oh.
I think they might be if T.J. Watt didn't get injured. Those two would definitely be up for Defensive Player of the Year this year by far. And I think with him out, it did show against the Bengals. Yeah, they were getting some good pressure on Joe Burrow, but it wasn't the same without Watt there. So I think Mac Jones could stay in the pocket a little bit longer. Hopefully, he'll be able to dissect and pick that defense apart. But that defense is good, man. So I don't know. But your guys' defense good too. But I'm gonna let you, Ravi, the expert, man. I gotta let you preach, man. I gotta let you preach about your team and see what's gonna happen here. So, what do you think, Ravi? What do you think is gonna go on with your Pats?
The Patriots, historically, with or without Brady, we are not a September team. September, we struggle very bad. We go, 2-2, 1-3. If we're lucky, we go 3-1. I can't remember the last time we went 3-1 in September. It's got to be a long time. We've got to win in here somewhere because we got some tough opponents coming up. I'm gonna give us in a really close ball game. I'm gonna say we're gonna be able to run that ball. Our defense looked really good against Tua. I know it's Tua, but they have Tyreek. We gave up a big play to Waddle, which was kind of a bummer. They got Gesicki, they got fast guys in the backfield, but overall, our defense gave up 13 points that entire game. So it really depends on our offense. It depends how Mac is feeling. Ty Montgomery just went on IR, so he's done for a while. So we're just gonna have Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, and maybe we'll see Pierre Strong in a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna say we're gonna bounce back this week because I'm gonna say this is gonna probably be our last win in September though. But I do see us getting back in track this week. All right, let's move it all along. Rapid fire. Week 1 is over. Who will be the MVP after week 1, Ray?
Oh man, dude, I'm gonna stick with Herbert. I know Patrick Mahomes lit it up, but I'm gonna still stick with Justin Herbert, man. I think he's definitely making a case for himself.
Yeah, got you. He didn't beat a great team. He only beat the Raiders. But anyways, what do you think, Moy?
My homie. You
Yeah.
gotta, especially since they destroyed the Cardinals. Like we're expecting that to be, a game, and he just came out there and just shredded them with no Hill. So
Got you. Nick, please pick Josh Allen. Just be different
I
than
was
all
gonna
of them.
say
It'd be
Josh
amazing
Allen.
right now.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
there
say
you go.
Josh Allen. Who was it though? There was someone on offense though that I was not a non QB that I've been thinking about.
Justin Jefferson?
Oh yeah, Justin Jefferson. I was saying he has a shot.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it keeps it up. But it's dependent on Kirk Cousin, who is not always who has his own issues when things matter. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Is it just me too? I was gonna say because Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown last year and he didn't even win MVP. So I feel like even if Justin Jefferson does better, I feel like they're not even gonna give it to him. It's just always gonna be a quarterback. And that
there's also though like Justin Jefferson, you have to keep in mind like you have to keep the presence. Like just that Cooper Kupp doesn't have that presence, like that star power. Like Jefferson has it. He has the freaking the gritty. Like he does that. He wears his grill. Like he just has like a presence that also is like marketable. And so Kupp is just like this little sneaky white guy, and it's like he just kind of keeps to himself and whatever. And it's true though. Like he doesn't. He's not like flashy. Like the more flash you have as a offensive player too, is the more I think you have a chance to get the attention.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the coffin. That's exactly it. That's the only difference between the two is that Justin Jefferson's way more flashy. He'll make you know that he ran it over top, and Cooper Kupp will just go high five his guys. Those are the difference. And when the fans see the gritty and stuff like that, that's what they want, and that's what's going to get him the votes. Yeah, I really like the Justin Jefferson pick. Good job thinking outside the box. But I'm gonna stay inside. I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes is just he's the dude to beat, man. He just came out and slung 5 touchdowns on the Cardinals. 5 touchdowns without Tyreek Hill. That was a statement win for them, I think. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be on track. He's going to spread that ball around, and I think he's going to win the MVP, and I think he's going to go deep in that playoffs. We'll see how it goes. We're going to try something new here. So after week 1, we're going to name a team, and we're going to ask you if it's a contender, if that team's a contender, or they're a pretender.
Ooh. All right.
All right?
Let's go.
Let's start it off strong. Denver Broncos. Raymond, contender or pretender? And by contender, I mean, will they make the playoffs?
I'm going to say contender. Here's my reason why. If you look back, I get it. They're two completely different teams. But if you look back to Tom Brady when he first joined the Bucs, they didn't start out well. He had to mesh with them. He had to figure it out. And I think that's what they're going to do. Russ is going to figure it out. That defense played pretty bad, but I think that defense is good enough to get it back together. I think Russ will get it together. They got really good wide receivers, so I think they're going to utilize them more. And they got to make is his last name Williams, the running back?
Javonte, yeah.
Javonte, they got to make him number 1. They got to stop with the split carries with Melvin Gordon because if there's anything that running backs, they got to get in a rhythm. And if you just get him for one series and then say, okay, Gordon, you go in the next series, he's never going to have a rhythm. So I think this week you're going to see a lot of Javonte Williams. I think you're going to see Russ just being Russ again, and I think that defense is going to be pretty stout. So I'm saying contender.
Contender. What you think, Moy? Contender or pretender in your division? Denver Broncos.
Contender. Everybody in that division is going to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. You still have the Raiders in there. Don't forget. You think contender?
Yeah,
I
think contender.
Okay. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah,
contender.
Nick?
Contender?
Yeah.
No pretenders?
I've seen Russ just do it too many times.
Yeah, I think they'll get it together. I think whether Russ was trying to hide it or not, I think there were just too much emotions. Week 1, butterflies. You got still trying to figure out the team, just like you said, Ray. When Brady, he did win the Super Bowl his first year with the Bucs, but like he had to get it together with his guys first. So yeah, I think they're still going to be contenders, and I still think 3 teams will make that the playoff, and one of them is not the Raiders.
You paid
Let's go. Green Bay Packers, contenders or pretenders? Nick? I know you love Aaron Rodgers.
Contenders.
Thought about it.
It is iffy with those receivers. But I think they'll pull it together. They have a good team, so I think they'll get it together. They might rely a little bit more on the run, but it's also Aaron Rodgers, so I'm not ready to count him out yet.
Boy?
I have to agree. There's some QBs that you just don't count out. I don't think they'll win the division, but I think they'll make playoffs. They might get one of those, lower seeds. They won't be a division winner, but they'll definitely make playoffs. I think they'll make playoffs. Contenders.
Let's go, Ray. What do you think? Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to say pretenders.
Yes.
I think that the Green Bay Packers are pretenders, man. One thing I definitely will have to mention as well, their number 1 corner doesn't follow. That coach won't let him follow. That's why Justin Jefferson got $184 in the freaking first half, I think, or whatever. How he got so many freaking yards in that first quarter, in the first 2 quarters. That corner, they won't let him follow. Plus, the wide receivers can't catch. Aaron Rodgers is just going to have – he's got to find somebody. I think they're going to make a trade. I think they are going to make a trade. That's my prediction. I think they will make a trade. They got to get somebody because this ain't working out. And but I think it's going to be a little bit too late because they never help Aaron Rodgers anyway. So I think it'll be a little bit too late, and I think they're going to miss – I think they're going to miss their playoff chances.
Well, Lazard was supposed to be the number 1 receiver, and he was out, so –
is he coming back?
But him being the number 1 receiver is a problem in itself.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I know you. I'm assuming you have him in fantasy, don't you? That's why you're saying that.
Yeah, I'm being hopeful.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Hey, well, some of his wide receivers is like he kind of helped them make a name of themselves,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we've
that
seen Allen
75-yard
Lazard the
drop,
last 2 years.
that was really cringy, man. That was cringy.
What?
That 75-yard drop,
Oh yeah, that was
that was
brutal.
bad. I mean, what do you
It
do?
happens. It
What do
He's a
you do?
rook. He's a rookie. It'll happen. He's gonna get. I think people forget Devonte Adams is really bad his rookie year. He was the third behind Jordy and Oh man, I can't remember behind Jordy and somebody else. I'm
Andrew
blanking on
Luck,
their name.
Wasn't a Cobb?
Cobb.
No. There was Jordy and somebody else over there. I don't think. I think Greg Jennings was gone. Maybe James Jones. Okay, I don't remember, but he was the third string over there, and I remember seeing Devontae. I'm like, who is this guy? This guy, he can't catch a ball. Aaron Rodgers running at him because he can't run routes, and look what he became. He became the number one receiver in the league. So
That's what I'm saying, man. I
Aaron
think
Rodgers will make someone into something no matter what. But Devontae Adams is still. I think he
That's
would
why
still be elite without
that's
Aaron
why I
Rodgers.
picked up Dobbs as a flyer.
Dobbs.
I'm hoping. I've heard
I'm,
good things,
I'm
but
trying so hard to trade for him. I hope I get him. But I think as of right now, the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to call them pretenders. I don't believe in the Green Bay Packers right now. They got two really good running backs, but they got nobody to catch the ball. I don't trust Cobb. I don't trust Lazard staying healthy. I trust their best receiver might be Romeo Dobbs, to be honest with you, and maybe Big Bob Tunyon.
Tanyan, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe Tunyon. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not feeling the Packers right now, and I think they're going to be in for a long season, and I think Rodgers knows that too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But let's move it on to a good one. The Las Vegas Raiders. What do you think, Nick? I'm gonna you go, and then I go, and then we'll let
I'm
you
gonna be
two hash
honest.
it out.
I didn't watch this game outside of flicking on Red Zone, so I saw the TDs and things like that. But I guess my question still is, what's going on? Is their defense good?
They have no corners, and David Arnett got hurt.
In that division, like where it's gonna be pass heavy. Man, it's hard too because Devontae Adams tears it up, but I mean they still lost. I'm gonna say contenders.
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
Love
I
Niner,
just give it to you.
love from the Niner fan.
I really thought you were gonna go the other way. What do
I
you
thought
think?
about it, but there's something just telling me they're gonna get in the playoffs. I mean, they'll fail miserably, but they'll get in the playoffs.
Somehow they're always in. They haven't won a division championship in 19 years, but somehow they're always in that 6 or 7 spot, dude. I don't know how they do it. What do you think, Moy?
Oh, contenders, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. So Nick didn't watch it, but I'm telling you, there was good flashes with the connection with Adams. I would like to see Waller get some more touches. Waller's a beast when he can get some touches. I also have him on my fantasy too. That's why. But yeah, I like and towards the last series, the last couple of series, Jones was getting some movement. I really liked it. I didn't like the play calling going away from that towards the end, and I think that's why they initially lost. Um, I didn't like the play calling at the end. But they stuck around. Everybody was like, "Oh, Chargers got a good defense." They were putting pressure on them, but they were there. They easily could have won it too. It's not like they got blown out. It easily could have gone the other way. So I still believe in them.
right. Before you go, I'm gonna go because I wanted to save you for last.
Take it away.
I wanted to save you for last on this. I think the Las Vegas Raiders are pretenders. I don't think they're gonna make the playoff. That division, Moy. The only reason I'm saying this, man, is that division is too good. I don't think you guys can keep up in that division still, and that's the only reason. I'm not doubting your guys' team. I'm not doubting your guys' coaching. I think you guys would do just fine. But I think there's gonna be 3 teams that make that playoffs, and one of them is not gonna be the Las Vegas Raiders. So I'm gonna call them pretenders as of now until they do something drastic to change it. I'm gonna still call them pretenders, but they're on the verge. They're on the verge of switching to contenders for me.
So they play the Cardinals next week. What if they beat the Cardinals?
The Chiefs blew them out, man. I can't rely on the Cardinals right now.
The thing I think is that division the thing is, like, even if one team's clearly better, division games are just different. Just stuff happens. And so I think that division is just gonna tear. And look, Denver's already starting 0-1. So I think that division is just going to tear itself up. So it's really going to see who dominates outside the division. I think is, and I could see them all being 10 or 11. Even less maybe in that. But they're so competitive that it's just is what it is. But they destroy each other.
And I would say that we have beaten Patty Mahomes. There's been previous seasons where we split at 1-1. So as long as we get those splits, we'll be there.
Got you. Moy, I might come back to you judging how bad Raymond tears you up. What do you think, Ray?
Man, I gotta have look. I'm gonna try to break this down as best as I can. The Las Vegas Raiders are pretenders, man. They're pretenders. Let's stop kidding ourselves here. Look I got the stats right here from Derek Carr. 295 yards passing, 2 touchdowns,
Yeah.
3 interceptions. 3 interceptions. And on top of that, your offensive line, talking about pressure over here, talking about they allowed 5 sacks. What's going on with their offensive line? The offensive line's an issue. Nick called it 100%. The secondary is an issue. Yes, you can do, and I agree with Moy here too, as far as their offensive firepower. I think Derek Carr was so asphyxiated on Adams that he forgot about Waller. Man, you're telling me about Waller. What about Hunter Renfrow? Renfro's a badass receiver, man. He should be on the freaking Ravens, man, because I think Lamar will make him MVP of the season. But I'm telling you, I think that Derek Carr needs to spread the ball. He needs to spread that ball. They need to stop being asphyxiated on Adams because that's what everyone knows he's going to target him. We all know that. I think the target share has got to be cut down in half for Adams. He's going to ball. Let those other guys get in there, and I think your offense will be better, but I have no answers for your defense, and I have no answers for your offensive line. 5 sacks, that's like Joe Burrow-esque, man. That's not good. You don't want that. And then on top of that, the secondary is not good. They're in shambles. So I think you guys got a lot of work, and I think if you guys can fix up those 2 situations, those 2 areas, I think that your football team will end up being contenders for sure.
More, you got something to say? I'll let you get the last word in.
My guy was halfway. He said they would get 10 sacks. But I would have to say that defensive line is it. You got what Mac and Bosa, like you just they just had a good defensive line. I don't think we're gonna face every team with a defensive line like that either. So I think I will agree with the DBs, and that was something I even mentioned last year that we needed to bolster our secondary, and we didn't do that. So that will definitely be an issue. But I think it's going to be where we just are going to have to put up points to also just, it'll be, we would have to score 30 plus to keep up with these teams in our division.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to tear up our secondary, Carr's going to have to do the same to keep up.
Yeah, I got you. The Las Vegas Raiders, they're definitely going to be fun to see. I said Damien Arnett, and that was my bad. That's the guy with the gun holding around, flashing. He got cut. Not him. I meant Anthony Averett. On my bad. Anthony Averett was placed on IR yesterday. Nate Hobbs is looking like a dog. He's looking like a really good cornerback. Nate Hobbs is looking like a really good cornerback. So he's probably the only good DB that you guys have back there. So we'll see how he does and if he can help fix the Vegas secondary. I got one more team. One more team for you guys. You guys ready? We're going to go. Raymond, I'm going to go off script. You ready?
Let's do it.
We're going to go with Moy's favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens. Nick, what do you think? Pretenders or contenders?
I think they're contenders.
Yeah?
I
think
they'll
they'll
be
be able to keep up?
Yeah. As long as Lamar stays healthy, I think they'll be fine. They clearly it was the Jets, so we'll see. But they're still a football team. Lamar still had good passes. He made the best of what he had with those receivers and tight ends, and it looked good. So, I think they can still get in the playoffs and then bank. Oh well, here's the other thing though. They already have 6 people on the IR, so that's a big concern. But if they can sell, basically. But if they can stay decently healthy, then I'll say they'll make it. If they get 2020 vibes, then it's gonna be rough.
Let's go, Ray. Preach it,
dude. Baltimore Ravens, contenders. They are contenders for sure. Ronnie Stanley, I get it. He's our left tackle. Jawan James was our backup. He tore his ACL. Ronnie Stanley's coming back healthy, so we're going to get him back. Marcus Peters, Kyle Fuller went out. Well, Marcus Peters is coming back from an ACL injury. He'll be back. So, but the question is, when will they be back? We don't know, but those are two big-time players that we definitely need. So the Ravens definitely need to get healthy. I agree with Nick 100%. I mean, if we're not healthy and Lamar don't stay healthy, we're not making nothing. There's just no doubt about it. And if this team falls apart and everyone tears the ACL like last year, yeah, we're not going to have a good season for sure. But I think so far, we'll have a big test against the Dolphins. I think I'll feel a little bit more easier after week 2 if we do beat the Dolphins, because they're a good football team. So we'll see if the Ravens are for real going up against a good Dolphins team. So we'll see. I think they're contenders.
Boy, I saved you for last on purpose. Let's hear it.
Wait, but you didn't go. You went already?
I think the Ravens are contenders. They're. I know it's the Jets. They look good. I don't see any. Devin Duvernay is looking like a real guy. I'm gonna call them contenders still. I think they're gonna do good. I think Lamar comeback season. I think he's gonna ball out for that contract. And let's have you talk more. What do you think?
I'm gonna say pretenders. just to get under Ray's skin.
I love this show.
We're gonna keep at it. They're pretenders to me right now. The injuries, yeah, they beat the Jets. Like, come on, it's the Jets. You know. To me, I don't think, because you said that contenders means they'll make playoffs.
Yeah.
I think, well, obviously one team will come out of the playoffs there, maybe even two. I don't think Ravens. I think Burrow will get it together with the Bengals, and I think they'll win the division. And then Steelers will be a surprise. So I think that's why they will not be contenders, because I don't think they'll make playoffs. Lamar may ball out.
Burrow's not even going to last a season.
He's going
to be injured by 3. He's got how many sacks?
I didn't interrupt him when he was calling.
Let him talk.
Like, come on.
Let Moy finish up. Come on, Moy.
Lamar may ball out since it's a contract year, right? He wants to get paid since he, didn't take that contract. But I still don't think it'll be enough to make playoffs. I don't think so. So I will call them pretenders as of now. And if they lose next week, they're definitely pretenders. They're definitely pretenders.
Let's go, Ray. Finish it up.
You already gave us peace.
I gave Moy a chance to come back and talk. So it's only fair if I do that for Raymond.
Dude, I have no idea what Moy's talking about. Moy, I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
Wait, real quick though. If they lose next week, you still think they're contenders?
Okay, well the Patriots lost last week. So are they pretenders too?
Yeah.
Bro, they have Tom Brady. You comparing Tom Brady to Lamar?
No, he said Patriots. Not
Patriots.
Oh, sorry, he said Patriots. No, the Patriots will still be pretenders.
We'll cover that next week. What do you think,
Yeah,
Ray?
man. I mean, look, dude, if the Ravens lose next week, I mean, I still am not going to write them off. I'm not going to write them off at all. I think, once again, the Ravens each and every single week get even scarier. I mean, they're getting healthy as the season goes on. Those players who were injured all last year, all 20-something plus, are now back, plus the free agents additions. And then on top of that, those guys who are still out, it's honestly, the Ravens season really honestly holds on to Ronnie Stanley, our left tackle. I hope Marcus Peters can play good, but we don't know. He might be a boom or bust. He may not play good. He might play good. But the key is Ronnie Stanley, our left tackle. We got to get him back. But if we get him back, I think we're going to be fine. We'll go a long way.
There we go, Moy.
All right, we'll have to wait and see.
I think you guys should do a bet on who has a better record, Ravens or Raiders, at the end of the year. And one of you has to wear the other team's jersey.
I like that.
I'm in.
Podcast.
I'll take that bet. I will take that bet.
You trust your Raiders yet, Moy?
On
See,
national,
here's the
on
thing,
national
though. Here's the
TV,
thing. Look,
in front
look.
of millions of people. I will
We
take
can
that bet.
hold on. Here's the thing, though. We all just agreed that the Raiders are in like a tough division with all those teams. So then the Ravens aren't really like that. Like
The Steelers,
so,
the Bengals.
the Browns.
With Watson coming back?
It.
It's too late.
I don't know.
No.
I'll
Okay.
take the bet. I'll take the bet. But
You're gonna take it?
I just want to put that out
He's
there.
putting a
that
caveat already on his bet.
Oh man, you trying to have people feel sorry?
All right,
for
how
you.
about this? How about you guys do that, and then I'll take. How about Niners or Patriots? Who has the better record?
Yeah.
Oh,
is that too much of a
The
long shot?
Patriots are gonna
I
have
don't
a
think
better
that's a little
record.
bit of a long shot. I don't think
That's not even fair.
You guys have more. You were just talking trash on Trey Lance. You guys have better. You guys think he's gonna be better than Mac Jones? Apparently.
Yeah, they'll do.
All right.
Team
I'm
wise,
cool
they'll
with
do better.
All right. Well, I'll look forward to that. Rob,
I'll take
I'll
that
look
bet,
it
though.
up
I'll
for
take
next
that
week.
bet. Ray, I'll take that bet.
There
Okay.
we go.
It's on.
Take
It's
that
on.
bet.
I'm already off to a good start. 1-0. It's a lot better than 0-1. So I'll take
All
it.
right. See, and I'm taking it knowing that we're 0-1, so we're behind. See, I still have faith that we'll end up with a better record.
There we go, Moy. Speaking like a true fan that I didn't know you were. That's awesome.
I got a Howie Long jersey ready for him.
Oh man, I got a Lamar Jackson jersey ready for you. I can't wait for you to wear it.
He's not gonna leave the house.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Dang.
All right.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome.
that concludes another session of 4th and 1.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, guys. See ya.